Hey, what's up, beautiful filmmakers? Hope you all are doing great. My name is Coletrain. I'm a filmmaker based out of San Diego, California, and this is my channel. This is a channel that I'm just having fun on. I'm not making this thing too serious, but this is my channel where I get to talk about my love for filmmaking, like making films, as a black man, as a man of faith, as someone who didn't go to film school and is kind of doing it my own way. This is my channel where I get to talk about things I get to talk about, and this is this little series I like to do kind of on Tuesdays or Mondays. I like to call them Processing Out Loud. It's just where I talk about certain things in my kind of creative journey that are inspiring me or challenging me, making me think, wherever the case might be. And so today's topic, I just want to talk about, again, I've said this before, I'm not an expert. I'm not like Peter McKinnon or anything. I'm not an expert on filmmaking. I'm really passionate about it. So I wanted to share this as a passion of mine. But it's something I found very beneficial for me in my life, and just kind of 3 tips from moving from video making to filmmaking. And I think most people, like, those words are like, those are the same thing, but they're not. And I think people who are in this space know the difference. But maybe I should do a video on the difference between those two. That'd be kind of cool. But yeah, if you start off in video world and you want to get into film world, or maybe just like kind of commercial, high-end commercial work with like crews. Like if you want to work with crews, I'm making this video kind of 3 tips that I found very beneficial for me. Again, not that I'm an expert, but just things I think that might be helpful. 3 tips on how to move from video making to filmmaking. So let's do it. Number 1, and I believe in this wholeheartedly, and that is, just be a PA on a set, on a film set with crews, with like, especially with like if you get on like union crews. Not that I'm pushing anyone to go into unions or anything, but just get on sets with people like that, people who maybe didn't grow up in like the YouTube world of things, but like have a deep love and understanding of the arts and like the craftsmanship of filmmaking, and being on a film set with a crew. So be a PA on a set. Most people aren't humble enough to do that, which blows me away. But just be a PA. Look, I've directed films, I've shot, DP'd stuff. I feel like I'm well versed in the game, and yet I all the time offer to be a PA on sets, especially if sets that I feel like are really beneficial for me. Just to get on set and just watch and learn, and just watch the interaction between the director and the DP, and watch the interaction between the DP and the gaffer, and the grip and the gaffer and the sound technician, and just watch how the work that the set designers and the prop master and all those people are doing. Watch the script supervisor and just be like, wow, what does your job look like, and how you interact with the director? Just watching these people, I think that's a huge thing, even for me who's been in the game for a long time. I love being a PA on set. I'll tell people all the time, like, I'll carry your Pelican cases, I'll get you coffee, I'll do whatever. Just let me get on set and let me learn. And if you're not humble enough to do that, and you probably need to check your attitude at the door. But just be a PA on set. It is so educational, and I don't think what people understand, especially again coming from the video making world, like if you learned on YouTube and watching the Peter McKinnons and the Matty Apoyas and all those people of the world, those are great, and I think those guys provide a lot of educational value. But I don't think what people realize is there is a whole like language and rhythm to being on a film crew and being on a film set. If you've never been on one, even if you might even like know your stuff, if you just can't keep up with the rhythm and the pace of being on set, you're gonna get lost, you're gonna get left behind, and then people are gonna be like, this guy, like guy, girl, whatever, like you won't have a good reputation. So I think that was also one of the biggest things too. Right? I remember my first time being like on a set with with real crews, and it was a little short film, and just the language they use. Like I remember when like even just them going to the bathroom, they had their own language for going to the bathroom, and I was like, what is going on? And if you don't know that, if you can't speak the language that is very unique to film sets, you just get left behind. Even if you are a great, maybe if you're a great DP or a great whatever role you're in, if you don't know that stuff, man, you're gonna get left behind. So get to be a PA on a set. Just learn and offer that to people. This is great because it also lets people know that you're humble enough to do, and you get connections with people. You get to meet people. You get to build connections with people that you might want to use for your projects later down the road. So there's so many benefits to being a PA on set. So I just strongly encourage people to do that. I think it's a great thing to do, and you can never be on too many sets because you learn so much every single time. Every time I'm on a set, I learn something. And so be a PA, get on set. That's tip number 1. Tip number 2 kind of actually ties into what I was ending off with there, is partnerships and connections. Especially if you want to get into maybe directing or DP, my step 2 would be partner with filmmakers around your skill set. I think what's interesting about, especially with YouTube and kind of the wave over the last 5 or 6 years, is like a lot of people look up to and try and connect with people who are ahead of them, right? So you find someone on YouTube who's really amazing at what they do, and you're like, dang, I want to meet and connect with them. And maybe you DM them or whatever the case is, even if you connect with them, but if they're, and I know this is kind of like controversial to say, but like if they're like on a different level than you, or they're ahead of you, sometimes it kind of could create a relationship that's like not very just efficient. And so what I think is really good to do is, like, if they're ahead of you, maybe you want to get to making films and they're already starting to make films, right? They're already there. Connect with them and meet with them, and that's cool. But get with people who are like you, who are ready to start making stuff. Because if you're connecting and building relationships with people who are at the same level with you, then your relationship has like kind of the same equity and the same kind of weight to it. And I think that helps you guys move forward together, because you can partner, you can bounce ideas off of each other, you can really kind of grow together, rather than you're always kind of chasing them and like just, I don't know, like sometimes I feel like those relationships are just not as beneficial. Like they can be super inspiring, which is great, but you're into filmmaking to make projects and to make films. And so to get into it and to make stuff, I think the relationships that are most beneficial are those who are kind of on the same level with you, or I'll put it this way, they're in the same season as you. And so if they're in the same season and they have kind of the same kind of journey path and arc that they're on, connect to those people more so. Make those people a priority, because I think those relationships will be beneficial. And as they begin to grow and doors open for them, maybe they have a project that opens up and is really big, and so then they want to like bring you on because you guys have been connecting, and they know that like you're maybe not too expensive or whatever the case is, and because you guys are kind of on the same trajectory together, it makes those kind of relationships really beneficial and really efficient. So that would be tip number 2 is, look, I'm all about getting other people ahead of you, getting connected with them, but also like look for people who are right with you, or maybe just a smidge behind you, and connect with those people. Deep relationships, those relationships will last you forever. Those are people you'll be hopefully making films with the next 20-30 years. Tip number 3 and last tip here, I would just say, this is, I think, probably the most important. Do as much spec work as you can. We've talked about spec work before on this channel and how important it is, but especially again, if you're kind of following some of those other tips and you're being on set and you're learning the language, and you're like, man, your eyes are getting open to so many different things, man. You got some connections from either being on set or just from other strategic partnerships that you've made. So you now you have a person who maybe if you're a director, you like, man, I love this DP and he's a friend of mine and he's kind of coming up in the same time frame as I am. Man, I got these sound engineers that I know, or these actors, or whatever the case might be. You've got a few partnerships that you can do, or that and that are willing to maybe work with you. Do some spec work. Create a little short 1-page, 2-page little thing, something you could film in a day or just a weekend maybe, and film with these people, so that a big part of like being a filmmaker is like whenever you meet people and they want to know like what you've done, right? And so again, transitioning from video maker to filmmaker, a lot of times video makers are being brought on to cast or to direct or film someone else's vision, which is great, and that's awesome, and they'll always be a part of that. But sometimes the type of work that you want to make, no one's asking you to do it yet. So you got to create time for yourself to do that. And that's called spec work. And then you want to do it to the level, hopefully to the level that you want to do it in the future. So if most of the work that you've been doing in the past has been 1 to 2-man crews or whatever, try and put together a 5-man crew and film something in a day, quick 3-minute little project, little 5-minute project with a couple other of your buddies and friends that can showcase the type of work that you want to do down the road. And I'm telling you, if you're on sets constantly, if you're building relationships with people that are, similar to you in your journey, and you're creating your own stuff, even if you just create 3 or 4 of those in a year span, the opportunities are going to open up in large ways for you to again continue to transition from video making to filmmaking. People will start to see this person brings value, this person has connections, and this person has got examples of the type of work that he can do, and so, or she can do, and that's awesome, and that's amazing. So those are 3 things that I would say. Those are just tips that I would go, be intentional about those things, create time for those things, put those things in your schedule, so that you can, again, be effective and efficient in promoting yourself as not just a video maker, but someone who wants to get into filmmaking, commercial work, again, whatever field that you want to be in, if you do those two things, I think it'll go a long way. They've helped out a ton in my journey. And so, yeah, I just want to share, give you a little game. Hopefully that's helpful. Hey, there's a lot of people who are well experienced and have a lot of, it's a lot of time in the game, who follow me or on this channel. Leave some other comments in the comments box below. Let me or let some other people know what are some other things that you've seen that have really helped you in being in being able to promote yourself in your field. Again, whether it's a gaffer, grips, set designers, actors, DPs, directors, producers, all different stuff. What are things that you have done or seen that have really helped you? And share those with other people who are coming into the game. I love that there's, filmmaking is a great spectrum of people who've been doing it for 30, 40, 50 years, and then people who've been doing it for like 2-3 years. And so I'm loving to connect with all those people. And so for those who've had a lot of experience, I would love to learn from you, and I think there's a lot of people on this channel that would love to learn from you as well. So leave that in the comment section. Again, this is a community. This is a place where I'm not trying to tell you what to do because I know. I'm just trying to share with you what I've learned along the way, and we all grow together. So let's get connected. I'd love to hang out and meet with you guys in the comment section. Looking forward to that. And that's all I got for you this week. See you next time.